Episode 01, The Midnight Promise. They say history is a river flowing in only one direction. But sometimes, a single person stands in that river and forces it to turn. Imagine it is April 18th, 1775. Boston. The air smells of sea salt and fear. The British Empire, the most powerful force on earth, has a secret. They are moving. They are armed. And they believe that by sunrise, the American dream will be dead. But there is a vow, a promise kept in the shadows. We often think of history as a series of accidents, but tonight, we see it was a series of choices. Welcome to ChronoVow. Today, we witness the night that changed everything. Why did one silversmith risk his life for a country that didn't even exist yet? Let's go back to the beginning. The Silent War in Boston. Before the lanterns, there was the tension. Boston was a city under occupation. 4,000 British headcoats lived among 16,000 citizens. Imagine soldiers sleeping in your barns, eating your food, and watching your every move. Paul Revere wasn't just a messenger, he was a spy. For months, he and his group, the mechanics, watched the British stables. They counted the horses. They listened to the drunken talk of soldiers in taverns. They knew something big was coming because the British were repairing their boats. This wasn't just a march. It was an invasion of the countryside. The stakes weren't just taxes, they were survival. If the British seized the cannons and conquered, the colonies would be defenseless. The vow was simple. The people must know before the first boot hits the dirt. The signal and the Charles River. Suddenly, the moment arrived. 2 golden lanterns swung from the Old North Church steeple. They were coming by sea. Revere didn't hesitate. He stepped into a small wooden rowboat. But here is a detail history often forgets. He had forgotten his spurs for his horse and cloth to muffle his oars. A local woman gave him her flannel petticoat to wrap around the wood so the British wouldn't hear the clack-clack of the oars. Ahead lay the Charles River, guarded by the HMS Somerset, a massive warship with 64 cannons. As he rode through the mist, he was so close he could hear the British sentries calling out the time. One heavy splash, and he would have been executed for high treason. He was carrying the spark of a new nation in his hands, rowing through the mouth of the lion. The Three Riders and the Night Chase. We remember Paul Revere, but he wasn't alone. On the other side of the river, he met with patriots who gave him a horse named Brown Beauty. But as he galloped, he was nearly captured instantly. 2 British officers emerged from the trees. Revere had to perform a high-speed maneuver, gallop through a narrow pond, and disappear into the shadows of Medford. By the time he reached Lexington, he was joined by William Dawes and Dr. Samuel Prescott. This is where the story gets intense. They weren't just riding. They were building an army in the dark. At every house, Revere didn't just shout, he gave instructions. He was a coordinator of a revolution. But in the dark woods between Lexington and Concord, the British were waiting. A pistol was leveled at Revere's head. "If you move, you are a dead man," the officer growled. They took his horse. They left him in the woods, miles from help. Most men would have given up. Paul Revere started walking. The sunrise and the shot. As the sun bled over the horizon on April 19th, the British marched into Lexington. They expected a sleeping village. Instead, they found 77 men standing on the green. They were tired, they were outgunned, but they were awake. A shot rang out. No one knows who pulled the trigger, but the world heard it. The shot heard round the world. Because of the Midnight Ride, the British didn't find a victory. They found a war they could never win. The legacy and closing. Paul Revere represented the spirit of ChronoVow. The idea that even when time is running out, a single person can change the future. History isn't just about dates, it's about the promises we keep. If you believe that justice always finds a way, subscribe to ChronoVow. We tell the stories that time tried to hide. I'm your narrator, and remember, history remembers everything, and time always makes promises. We'll see you in the next story.